Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, where I take stories from across the internet and read them for your entertainment. Now, the like button seems to have got itself lost in space. Its tether has fallen off, and it is floating off into space. But you can save it. You just need to click on it, and it'll drag it back to the spaceship and save it. Also, the subscribe button is very, very worried about this like button, so if you could also give it a bit of comfort and just tap. Anyways, more importantly, onto the story. An Alien Plays Project Zomboid, written by FarmWitch4275.
Great days and glorious victory! My name is Spifflemonk, and welcome to my Let's Play. Today, at the recommendation of my physician, I have been recommended to play a game that is not so, addictive. I've been recommended a game called Project Zomboid. That is a very unusual name. Apparently, it's rated overwhelmingly positive in the reviews, so I guess it's very, very good. Let's see some of the reviews. Spifflemonk looks at the game reviews on its store page and raises an eyebrow at some of them. Some reviews include lists of ways to die, while others include mod listings or tips. Most reviews, however, are short stories of how characters in-game met a rather messy end. Oh my, this looks strange. Eaten by zombies? What in the void is a zombie? Okay, well, let's get going then.
Spifflemonk starts the game. When the initial load is completed, he is greeted by the game's main menu splash screen, which is an animated picture of a man cradling a severely injured woman in a barricaded room.
Good lord, that is sad. What even is this game?
The game animation plays, overlaid by very sad, somber music. The image is very dimly lit. The viewer is unable to really see much of the two characters' features or facial expressions, and the soft sound of rain can be heard beyond the music.
Oh my goodness, what is this game? Well, I suppose I should get going. Let me just adjust a few settings to make editing a bit easier later.
Spifflemonk adjusts the volume and graphic settings, changing some control scheme buttons for a better fit for his four-fingered biology, and does a little bit of audio tweaking. He notices something in the background, and finally, these changes.
Wow, what was that? Lightning? Oh, that is quite immersive. Right, let's get started. Ooh, solo? That human lingo means go it alone. Now, I was told to go into custom sandbox mode and use the base settings for my first go, just to see. I was told that if your character gets killed, it's okay. Create a new one and rejoin. It's just like a respawn in Factorio, apparently. I've been given a list of basic traits for my character to start and choose my own as I get better in the game, so, here we go.
Spifflemonk chooses the traits and occupations. Burger Flipper as an occupation, Smoker as his negative trait, and a few positive traits, such as Sneaky, Fast Reader, and Swift. He clicks next and comes to a character creation screen and clicks on the randomize button.
No, apparently I'm playing as a human female this time. Let's go!
Loading screens plays out. It's black background overlaid with white text.
Oh my, these are the end of times. There was no hope of survival. This is how you died. That is, foreboding? What is this game? Okay, I've loaded in.
Spifflemonk looks around, taking a longer time than usual to get used to the game's unique control scheme and isometric viewpoint. He looks around in various containers, and after about 10 minutes of fumbling about, gets used to how the game works and begins looking for supplies.
By my, this game is quite interesting. Never had a view like this before, so it took a bit to get used to. Now, from what I know, I should arm myself with a weapon and get some stuff to wear. I found, a kitchen knife. That counts as a weapon, I suppose?
Spifflemonk fumbles a bit more, looking through the house for supplies, noticing that he has a pack of 20 cigarettes and a lighter in his inventory. He collects his thoughts and finds tin food, books, magazines, a lucky find of a duffel bag, and some extra clothing.
Right, I looted the entire house. There wasn't much at all. A can or two of food, maybe, but I think this bag I found should come in handy. Now, let's go outside and...
Spiffle is interrupted by the sound of something streaking across the window. followed by some noises of banging. He moves around, somewhat carelessly, walking towards the sound of the noise and stops his tracks as he hears the sound of the window shattering.
What was that?
An NPC suddenly appears in the room, arms extended, and lunges towards Spiffle's character, emitting a horrible growling and guttural gobbling noises.
What is this? A human? What's it doing? Oh, by the God, stop! No, stop doing that! No! The knife! I have a knife! Have it!
Spiffle strains to get the combat system right, and manages a lucky blow on the NPC. He nearly retches as the animation plays of his character, grabbing the NPC by the head and then shoving the knife into the skull through the neck. Spiffle is in a bit of panic, and he completely forgets what's going on. He hears more banging and more window shattering. Within moments, Spiffle is surrounded by 5 of them and panics.
How do they get... No, stay back!
Spiffle screams in terror as his character is swarmed by NPCs. He watches in horrified terror as the NPCs grab and pull his character to the ground, with his character emitting an all-too-real sounding terrified shriek of terror and agony. Various sounds and noises made during this is very clear what's going on. Sounds of mouths gnawing at flesh, cracking of bone, and tearing of clothing. Spifflemonk is frozen in place in dead silence, his face contorted and trapped in what appears to be his species' version of an expression of horror. He clicks the Quit to Main Menu button and sits in dead silence. He finally pays closer attention to the main menu screen and notices what's really going on as the lightning illuminates the scene in front of him. The male in the picture is not cradling an injured woman, as evidenced by the sight of red flesh and spilling blood that he's in fact eating her.
Oh my God!
Spiffle sits in dead silence, staring directly into the camera in an expression that is best described as absolutely horrified to the absolute bone. He stares directly into the camera. His species is famed for the fact that his eyes glow brightly even in bright light. That famed glow was mysteriously gone from his eyes. He curls up into the fetal position as his channel outro plays. Top comment, dude, are you okay? Perhaps Zomboid was the last game you should have tried. You look broken. If it's any consolation, we never had a zombie outbreak. It's just fiction.
Great days and glorious victory. My name is Spifflemonk, and welcome to my Let's Play. Today, by popular demand of my previous video, and some counseling, we are back at Project Zomboid. For all my non-human viewers, a zombie in human mythology is a human or creature that has been bewitched by a magic spell or infected with a strange mutagenic virus. This affliction causes them to become animalistic cannibals that do not sleep, do not tire, are hard to kill, and have only one purpose: to feed on the non-infected. What that says about humans is up to your discretion. Spifflemonk goes through the motions of starting a new game and gets into it, spawning inside a house in Muldrook's suburb. He doesn't get nearly as lucky as he did last time and finds only a can of pineapple and a saucepan to use as a weapon. After a bit of work organizing his inventory, Spiffle gathers his thoughts and walks outside, finally finding the crouch button as he carefully sneaks past the group of zombies towards the next house. You don't see me, I'm nothing. I'm a ghost, you see nothing.
Spiffle tries the front door of the house and finds the door locked. He tries a few windows and finally opens one, only to have the house's alarm go off. He panics and thinks he has time to try and loot the house quickly.
Oh no. Okay, I can do this. In and out. Quick, it's a tuffle rat.
He begins to loot and pillage the house as best he can and gets ambushed by a zombie in the bedroom. He dispatches it in a panic and barely scrapes by. His celebration is cut short by a zombie coming in behind him and biting his character. He fights it off only for 2 zombies to break the window and fall in the room. He is once again swarmed and eaten alive.
Oh, come on!
Okay, Spiff, calm down. Calm. Lesson learned. Okay, stay away from the house alarms. Spiffle is visibly shaken by the horrified screaming as his character is eaten. He restarts, continuing the world he had going by selecting a new character and starting again. He has less luck than last time, and only finds a frying pan for a weapon and uncooked bacon as food.
I did not get so much as a scrap of anything this time. It seems that the spawn isn't so lucky. I only got a frying pan, right? Let's give this another go.
Spiffle plays as normal, sneaking past a group of 6 zombies and heading to a house. He seems to have learned his lesson, and before attempting to try a window, he carefully looks around him and makes sure that he's alone. He opens the window, and luckily this time, no alarm. He kills 1 zombie in the living room and bedroom and loots the place. He finds a kitchen knife and a fanny pack with a can of tuna, but no can opener.
Right, so we have food and a bit of extra clothing. Let's go for more.
Spiffle carefully exits the building and sneaks his way through the area. He encounters his first big structure, the Muldra High School, and decides to go in. It goes poorly, and he gets bitten running from a horde. He escapes the horde that tries to swallow him. He manages to get to the safety and barricades himself up. Unfortunately, he couldn't get to a good spot fast enough, and his character dies from blood loss. Because he's been bitten, his character resurrects.
What? What is this kind of evil that you humans think of? I mean, seriously, what kind of horrible nightmares must you have dreamt to come up with this kind of evil?
Spiffle looks in horrified fascination at the sight of his character now wandering aimlessly as a zombie. The channel outro plays. Top comment. Seriously, you had this kind of reaction to a few games of Zomboid. God alone help you if you ever find the SCP universe. My recommendation, don't play any SCP games or Resident Evil or Silent Hill. Those games might kill you.
Great days and glorious victory. My name is Spifflemonk, and welcome to my Let's Play. It's back to Project Zomboid again by popular demand. I cannot understand why my subscribers hate me so much as to demand I continue to subject myself to this. However, I have watched various other videos relating to PZ, and I have a bit more knowledge now. Let's get to business.
Spifflemonk plays the game as normal, managing to survive for a full half an hour until the first night. His character thus far has no serious encounters, has killed a few zombies, and had a close scrape, but it's otherwise fine. Spiffle goes to sleep on the top floor of a house.
Why am I shaking? What is this? Oh, look, I'm actually in distress. Is this what happens to humans too?
Spiffle zooms in on his face camera to the sight of his 4-fingered hands, purplish skin, and all shaking rather aggressively. It seems that he can't actually hold his hands still, regardless of how hard he tries. He returns the face cam to its normal position, and his character wakes up around 6 a.m. He does some minor looting and leaves the house to find the area now has a dense morning fog surrounding it.
What is this? What is this strange white thing that's all over the place? I can't see very far. I can't see at all, actually. Okay, if someone in the comments can tell me what this strange blanket thing is, I would appreciate it. Well, let's go. This way.
Spiffle heads towards the town and has a lucky encounter with his first car. It is, however, surrounded by 8 zombies, so he goes to work and manages to clear the area.
Righty-ho then. I think I'm getting the hang of this strange control system here. Now, I recognize this thing at least. An automobile, or as the humans call it, a car. Now, for my non-human viewers, we have a similar concept called a kermotor. It's basically the exact same principle. As far as I know, human vehicles are a lot simpler because they use petroleum instead of plasma cells and hydrogen cells. Now, if I recall correctly, I have to approach the front end and, Spiffle gets to the front and accesses the car's mechanics. By an incredible stroke of luck that even humans would find absurd, the car is in a reasonable condition with a quarter tank of fuel in it. Spiffle moves to the driver's side and by an even more absurd stroke of luck, finds the key in the glove box. He starts the car and carefully drives off, stopping and starting as he gets used to how driving works. After a while, he gets up to a decent speed and heads up the road towards what appears to be a larger structure on his map. Now I am told to go through the roads here to get to something called a shopping mall, which apparently has a high zombie population but a very, very good loot location. I need cigarettes for my character here, so I need to find some. I only have 2 left.
Spiffle is driving somewhat carelessly as he ends up in the main street suburb of Muldra and speeds directly into a car stuck in the road. The car engine stops from the impact and Spiffle's character passes out from the impact. The screen view narrows to reflect this, and Spiffle panics as he starts to hear noises of zombies approaching.
Oh no! What did I do? What happened? Oh no! Did I crash? Spiff, you idiot! You weren't paying attention.
Sounds of windows smashing, followed by an agonizing scream of Spiffle's male character, are heard, followed by the game over screen. His character is now a zombie wandering around, surrounded by around 20 or so zombies that swarm the car. Spiffle is caught off guard, and the horrified screams seem to break him for a few minutes. He swallows nervously and stares blankly with a now all too familiar glowless expression straight into the camera. The channel outro plays. Top comment. This comment was written by an Iridani IP and has been translated. Why would humans do this? Why would they make something so horrific? Why? Reply comment. Why? Why the hell not? It's fun. Besides, Project Zomboid isn't terrifying or scary. It's tense and unnerving. You want scary? Alien isolation. You want terrifying? SCP containment breach. Now that's some scary stuff.
Great days and glorious victory. My name is Spifflemonk, and welcome to my Let's Play. Today shall be the absolute final time I played Project Zomboid. I found this game far too disturbing. Far too disturbing. We are starting this time with something different, as I have skipped recording of the first half an hour or so, as it is basically the same and I've gotten so used to it, it's quite easy. I've been challenged by a subscriber I know in person to survive a thing known as a helicopter event. Even if I don't survive, I do not care. I shall not do this again. My poor heart can't take it. Gameplay begins and Spiffle is decently set up in a small base made out of a house. He still doesn't seem to know a few basics about the game, such as closing curtains to mask movement from zombies, or using sheetrope to create makeshift escape points in houses. However, he has made a good progress and has several duffel bags on the table in the kitchen full of food and a few guns hanging around. Right, this is good. So far, my best run. As you see, I did a lot of looting and even managed to find some lucky things of zombies, including a shotgun thing. What is a shotgun anyway?
Spiffle is unable to continue his thought on the matter as he is interrupted by the sound of an approaching helicopter.
What is that noise? What is this human voice? It sounds like it's coming over a loudspeaker.
Spiffle charges out of the house only to be met by a horde of 20 zombies shambling towards him. He hurriedly charges back into the house to grab his shotgun and measly quantity of 40 shells. By now, Spiffle has a handle on the awkward combat system and goes into battle swinging, killing 10 zombies within a couple minutes. His character is suddenly grabbed, but suffers only minor scratch.
Oh, blast you! Blast! You will pay for that!
Spiffle quickly dispatches his attackers and vanishes into a nearby house to tend to his wounds. Finding only a scratch, he quickly patches himself up and heads back into combat. Both he and the character begin to panic as the size of the zombie horde he encounters has grown from around 20 or so into a mass of about 50, drawn in by the helicopter. He is swarmed again, but valiantly fights, firing his gun, sprinting away, and then turning to fire again. Eventually, he runs out of ammunition and tries to escape the area.
Madness! They just keep coming. Why do they just keep coming?
Spiffle attempts to run past the zombies and, due to his character's panicked and exhausted state, trips and he is grabbed to the ground. His female character's death screams seem to strangely protracted, lasting a bit longer and seeming a bit louder than the others. Once again, the glow in his eyes that is characteristic of his species is mysteriously gone as he stares in abject horror into the camera for one final time. His channel outro plays. Top comment. Well, does it seriously affect you that much? Dude, calm down. It's only a game. It's pure fiction. Sure, it can be terrifying, but that's what fiction is. We like to have our pants scared off of us from time to time. We don't know why, really. It's just fun. Reply from Spifflemonk.
You find this fun? You people are insane!
End of story. I would just quickly like to thank the T5 peeps: Dragon Soup, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Severin Cerberus, Red Panda 121, Leslie 517, Bushmaster 177, Caspar Arnold, Cam Maxwell, Sans the Skeleton, Lightjock, Dragzoon WRE, and Lord Asrical. Thank you very much.